It's recording.
Alright. Right now we're going to show you guys how to tube feed English Bulldogs. These dogs are 4 days old, right? Espelaka goat's milk, we got two sets, which you can get right here. This is pretty much Espelaka, but I think this one doesn't have goat's milk in it, right?
No.
And this one does have goat's milk in it. They're around the same price. This one is 11 ounces and this one's 12.5. You can get it at any pet store, Petco, PetSmart. And then you gotta make sure that it's always at room temperature right here, which we already microwaved it for, depending, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, stir it. Then you want to get something like this. You can get this at any veterinary supply store, or you could ask your vet to possibly give you something like this. And basically what you do is, when the dogs are this young, you want to give them 3 to 7 cc's. I usually give them 4 to 6, just to be kind of in the middle of it. Like I said, you got to make sure that it's room temperature, not too cold or not too hot. Make sure the syringe that you're using has cc's on it, so you know what they're giving. At all times, make sure you look at this to make sure that there's no air in it. See, there's a little bit of air in it. You kind of tap it, so you're not giving them any air. And then also at the end, you want to just shoot it back in to make sure, see the bubbles coming out, that you're not putting air in their stomach. Now, tube feeding English Bulldogs is only really necessary if your dog is either getting milk in its lungs or it's getting air in its stomach. If it's not, I would just leave it on the mother, especially for the first 2 days. That's the most critical. We'll go ahead and start with this one first. And basically, a lot of people say, tube feeding is really hard. It's really not that hard, as long as you pay attention and, give it 100%. Don't kind of slack off on that. And what you want to do is you just grab the puppy, and from the last rib, you measure from the last rib to its mouth. And then what I tend to do is I just pinch it, so I know this is, to the stomach, to the mouth. And when you're doing that, you always want to make sure that it's at an angle, never straight. And when you're actually putting it in, you want him to try to at least swallow it. If he doesn't, just kind of go a little bit back and forth with it, and then he'll get it. So see how he's swallowing it, and at this position. So you gotta go back. Him at this position usually is good because his throat is at an angle. Now these guys have only been tube fed once. I'm not sure if this guy's been tube fed at all. I think he has one time. So see how he's kind of gagging on it? You stop, make sure that he catches his breath, and then continue to go in. Never force it in, always just with ease. And then what I do is to, make sure that he doesn't move. With this hand I hold his head, and then to the side I hold it so I know where it's at. And when I start shooting the milk in, I go real slow. And every cc that I pump into him, I'll stop for a second and I'll check to make sure that it's not getting in his lungs. Now it's in his stomach, I know that, but sometimes you never know. It could be late at night, 2, 3 in the morning, you're tired, you don't know if it's all the way in. So every 1 cc, 1 to 2 cc's, just make sure that he's breathing correctly and it's not like raspy. Now this one, he's doing really good. See how he's actually kind of sucking at it? That's actually better, and he's doing really good at this for it being only a second time. Now him crying like that or him moving around, that's normal. That's just, you got to think that they have a tube down their throat. And basically you want to do this exactly how you would be feeding, a 1 to 7 year old English Bulldog every 2 hours. That's the mom, wanting the puppies. Another thing I do is I'll put my small finger and let him suck on it and kind of like walk him. So when I was pulling out the tube, if some milk were to get in there, it helps push it down, and then it's all clear. Now you can see he's a little bit wider now. He's got a pretty good sized stomach. Like I said, if he has air in his stomach, one of the signs is when you hold him like this and he's pointing out straight, he won't be able to lift his head like that, and his tongue will stick out like he's sticking the tongue out at you. See, he's fine, so you know that he doesn't have no air in the stomach. But if you're ever wondering if your dog has air in the stomach, do this. If the tongue sticks out, that shows that he has air in the stomach. If you feel the stomach and it feels really bloated, like it's stiff, that's another sign. And they tend to cry a lot because it's really hurting their stomach, and when you actually clean them, a lot of air will just tend to come out. Let me see that second puppy. Now these puppies are, like I said, 4 days old. They're from Sancha and my dog King Mojo. These puppies will be 8 weeks. When, Edgar? Probably sometime in January? January?
Beginning of January.
You can go on...
End of January?
End of January, around that time, they'll be 8 weeks. They're AKC, both mother and father. If you're interested in picking up a Bulldog in your Southern California area, go to MySpace.
Except for this white one.
Except for the white one. Except for the white male. You can go on myspace.com, Sancha's Bullies, and check them out. They'll be posting up pictures as they get older. So yeah, like I said, you want to always tap this, make sure that there's no air inside there. So that one I gave him 6 cc's. I'm gonna probably go 5.5 with him because he's a little bit smaller. He's the smallest one in here. And also what we're going to show is Edgar for the first time doing his tube feeding. So pretty much the same thing, you go to the last rib, you just feel it. Tap it really lightly, you don't want to squeeze too hard, and then you just pretty much pinch it. This one's kind of a little hostile.
And he's yellow.
And he's yellow. That's typical with the all white bulldog, which me at famousbulldogs.com, we don't get lucky like that. We don't get all white. So I wouldn't know nothing about that. But
we say he's got the jaundice disease. Bad liver. Mom not drank too much beer.
No, I did drink too much beer, thanks to Daddy.
So yeah, that's another trick that he brings that up. If your bulldog's not producing milk and that's why you want to go to, tube feeding an English bulldog, try giving it beer. Try to see if it'll drink it. If not, do with the syringe, like a turkey syringe, and shoot around 6 cc's inside of the mom. And believe it or not, that'll help produce milk.
I give her like half a bottle, bro. I think she got drunk.
Yeah, half a bottle, then your dog's gonna be drunk and it's not gonna want to feed the puppies.
Oh shit. Well, that turkey based her twice.
You gave a lot, huh? So was Sancha still feeding the puppies, or was she just partying it down?
No, she fed them. She fed them fine.
She probably did good because she was passed out drunk.
She hasn't drank.
So no, yeah, definitely try that. I always use Tecate, but you could use anything. Don't use hard liquor. You don't want to give your dog 6 cc's of vodka.
Craig, you think this twice is too much?
Yeah, see something like that. If you guys want to show that real quick, that'll work. But I'd only say do like a quarter of that. Now see, cc's is different from, I think that's what, like millimeters, or something? Or
This is ounces.
ounces. So then when you pull it out, just go slow. And do the little, with your smallest thumb. Sometimes, believe it or not, they'll get full off this, and they won't want to suck. But this one is sucking. So you want to just have them suck on your smallest thumb to get rid of that. So like I said, man, only do this if it's really necessary. Don't do this if it's not, because Espelaka goat's milk is a good supplement, but it's not as good as the mom's milk. It doesn't have the nutrients and everything you need. If you pretty much tube feed your dog from day 1 all the way to 2 weeks and look at somebody else's dog that's been on the mom's milk, you'll see that their dog is a lot bigger, just because, you know, you can never get that nutrient that the mom has. That one's pretty good, you know. And then you check it to see if it's got air in its stomach, which he seems to be fine. He's just a little hostile.